There's a reason why so many people live the same year over and over again and call it a life. It's because they've been trained, conditioned, to believe that comfort equals safety and safety equals happiness. But the truth is, nothing could be further from reality. Growth doesn't live in comfort. Fulfillment doesn't live in comfort. The life you're craving doesn't live in comfort. It lives in the discomfort you've been running from. Think about it. Every breakthrough you've ever had in your life was born out of a moment of discomfort. The first time you pushed yourself to speak up when your voice was shaking. The first time you walked into a room where you didn't feel like you belonged. The first time you took a chance knowing you might fail. Those weren't comfortable moments. They were terrifying. But those were the moments that shaped you. Most people spend their lives chasing comfort like it's some kind of prize. They want the easy road, the smooth path, the predictable outcome, but let me tell you something. Comfort is the enemy of progress. The muscles you never stretch, they shrink. The talents you never use, they fade. The dreams you never chase, they die. You've got to train yourself to step into the places that make your stomach flip, that make your palms sweat, that make your heart race. That's where the magic is. When you're uncomfortable, you're alive, you're alert, you're learning. That burning in your chest when you step outside your zone, that's not fear telling you to stop. That's life inviting you to grow. Discomfort is a signal, not a stop sign. It's the universe saying, you're exactly where you need to be. So stop asking for easy. Stop praying for less struggle. Start asking for more strength. Start demanding from yourself the courage to lean into the challenge. Because the more you lean into discomfort, the more you'll realize it's not a wall to keep you out. It's a door to everything you've ever wanted. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Make it your new normal. Because the people who win in life aren't the ones who wait until they're ready, or until the fear is gone, or until the path is clear. They're the ones who take the leap while their legs are shaking, who show up when it would be easier to hide, who keep moving forward even when their mind is screaming to turn back. So I'll ask you right now, what are you avoiding because it feels uncomfortable? That's your path. That's the fire you've got to walk through. And when you do, you'll discover a version of yourself that you never thought possible. Stronger, braver, and more unstoppable than you ever imagined. Because the truth is this, comfort will never change your life, but discomfort will. Growth never lives in comfort. Your greatest breakthroughs are born in discomfort. Think back to any moment in your life when you truly changed, when you evolved, when you became a stronger, wiser, more capable version of yourself. Did it happen when you were sitting on the couch, feeling safe, secure, and unchallenged? Or did it happen when you were thrown into a situation that forced you to dig deeper, to find a part of yourself you didn't even know existed? Growth has never been the child of ease. It is the offspring of discomfort, of challenge, of those moments when everything inside of you wanted to retreat, but something stronger inside of you chose to advance. The truth is, comfort is seductive. It whispers to you that you've earned the right to relax, that you should avoid risks, that safety is the smart choice. And yes, comfort can give you temporary relief, but it also robs you of the very experiences that forge greatness. When you stay in comfort too long, you slowly trade your potential for a false sense of security. You don't notice it at first, but over time, the walls of your comfort zone become a cage, and that cage becomes smaller and smaller until you no longer recognize the person staring back at you in the mirror. The hunger that once burned in your heart fades, replaced by the dull ache of regret. Every great story of triumph is built on discomfort. Athletes don't reach the peak of their performance by staying comfortable. They train until their muscles scream. Entrepreneurs don't build empires by playing it safe. They bet on themselves when the odds seemed impossible. Leaders don't inspire by avoiding challenges. They step into the storm while others seek shelter. And ordinary people who achieve extraordinary lives don't do so because they stayed in their safe zone. They did it because they were willing to feel the fear, to feel the pain, to feel the uncertainty and move forward anyway. Discomfort is the birthplace of transformation. It's where you find out what you're truly made of. It's where your excuses collapse and your real power emerges. When you're uncomfortable, you're being stretched. And what happens when something is stretched? It expands, it grows. The same is true for you. The more you stretch beyond what you thought you could handle, the more capacity you create to handle even greater challenges and opportunities in the future. But here's the part most people miss. Discomfort isn't the enemy, it's the invitation. When you feel that knot in your stomach, that nervous energy in your chest, that voice in your head telling you to turn back, that is the signal you're on the verge of something meaningful. Most people misinterpret that feeling and retreat, thinking it means they're not ready or not capable. But those who understand the truth know that feeling is proof they're about to grow. They don't run from it, they run toward it. Think about the first time you did something that scared you, whether it was standing up to speak, taking a leap of faith in your career, or admitting how you truly felt to someone who mattered. Before you did it, you were uncomfortable. You probably doubted yourself. You maybe even thought about quitting. But once you pushed through, you realized you were stronger than the fear. That's the pattern of life. Discomfort first, growth second. It never comes the other way around. So, if you're waiting for the fear to go away before you act, you'll be waiting forever. If you're waiting for perfect timing, you'll never begin. Growth demands discomfort because discomfort is the bridge to your next level. Every time you step into it, you unlock a part of yourself you didn't know you had. Every time you refuse to back down from it, you build resilience, confidence, and momentum. The people who achieve the extraordinary aren't the ones who feel no fear or doubt. They're the ones who embrace the discomfort and use it as fuel. They don't see it as a punishment. They see it as a privilege, as a sign they are alive and moving in the direction of their potential. And the more they lean into it, the more unstoppable they become. Comfort is the enemy of progress. If you're not stretching, you're shrinking. The truth is, life is never static. You are either moving forward or you are moving backward. There is no such thing as standing still. Yet most people cling to the idea that if they stay comfortable, they can somehow pause the game, hold on to what they have, and protect themselves from risk. But the reality is that the moment you stop stretching yourself, the moment you stop reaching beyond what you already know, you begin to shrink. Your confidence starts to fade, your energy decreases, and your belief in what's possible for you slowly erodes. Comfort feels safe, but in the long run, it is the most dangerous place you can live. Think about a muscle in the human body. If you never use it, if you never push it, if you never put it under strain, what happens? It atrophies, it gets weaker, it becomes incapable of doing what it was designed to do. The same principle applies to your mind, your spirit, your potential. When you don't stretch beyond what's easy, you rob yourself of strength you didn't even know you had. And over time, that neglect doesn't just keep you from growth. It actually drags you backward. Comfort doesn't just keep you the same, it deteriorates you. The illusion of comfort is powerful. It convinces you that you're avoiding pain when in reality you're only trading short. Term ease for long, term suffering, because comfort will always cost you something. It costs you the excitement of chasing a vision. It costs you the pride of overcoming obstacles. It costs you the fulfillment of becoming someone who once felt impossible to be. Comfort lulls you into a false sense of security, and before you know it, years have passed, and the dreams that once lit a fire inside you have been buried under layers of routine, excuses, and fear disguised as logic. When you stretch yourself, yes, you feel the strain, yes, you feel the fear, but that strain is proof that you're alive, that you're moving towards something greater. Every challenge you accept is like adding weight to the bar. At first, it feels heavy, maybe even unbearable, but with consistency, you grow into it, and what once felt impossible becomes your new normal. That's progress. That's expansion. That's what turns ordinary people into extraordinary leaders, creators, and dreamers who actually make their visions a reality. But you cannot get there if you're clinging to comfort. Progress demands that you face the very things you'd rather avoid. It demands that you do the hard thing when your mind begs for the easy path. It demands that you risk looking foolish, risk failing, risk falling short, because only in those risks does real growth occur. Think about every innovator, every champion, every person who left a mark on history. None of them got there by chasing comfort. They got there by constantly stretching the limits of what they thought possible. They understood that progress doesn't come by repeating yesterday. It comes by daring to step into the unknown. You've got to ask yourself, where in your life have you been choosing comfort over progress? Maybe it's staying in a job that doesn't challenge you because it pays the bills. Maybe it's avoiding a conversation you know could change a relationship because you fear conflict. Maybe it's holding on to habits that keep you numb because facing the truth would make you uncomfortable. Wherever you find comfort ruling your decisions, that's the exact place where you're shrinking. That's the place where your potential is being suffocated. The real power comes when you decide to flip the script. When you stop seeing comfort as a friend and recognize it as an enemy to your progress. When you embrace the idea that the discomfort you feel is not a sign to stop, but a sign you're on the right path. Because every stretch, every challenge, every moment you choose growth over ease, you reclaim a piece of your power. You prove to yourself that you are not defined by fear, that you are not limited by yesterday, and that you have the strength to become more than you ever imagined. Discomfort is not a stop sign. It's a signal you're exactly where you need to be. Most people feel that knot in their stomach, the pounding in their chest, the nervous thoughts racing through their head, and they instantly believe it's a warning telling them to turn back. They think the presence of fear or uncertainty means they're not ready, not capable, not qualified. But what if that feeling wasn't a warning at all? What if it was confirmation that you're finally stepping into the place where real growth happens? Discomfort is not there to stop you. It's there to guide you, to signal that you're no longer stuck in the old patterns that kept you safe but small. Think about the first time you did anything significant. Maybe it was walking onto a stage, maybe it was launching a business, maybe it was having the courage to tell someone you loved them. In every one of those moments, discomfort showed up. Your heart raced, your breath quickened, your brain tried to talk you out of it. Yet, if you pushed through, you found out that the very thing you feared was not the end of you. It was the beginning of a new version of you. Discomfort is the bridge between who you are and who you're capable of becoming, and if you avoid it, you cut yourself off from transformation. So many people misinterpret discomfort as failure. They feel resistance and assume they're not supposed to go further. They feel fear and assume it means they lack courage. But resistance is proof you're moving forward. Fear is proof you're about to grow. That shaking in your hands is the body's way of saying you're alive, you're engaged, and you're stepping into new territory. Discomfort is not the universe rejecting you. It's the universe testing you, asking, do you want this badly enough to push through the feelings that try to hold you back? Discomfort is also a sign that you're operating outside the boundaries of the familiar. The brain loves certainty, loves predictability, loves to repeat what it already knows. So, the moment you do something different, the alarm bells go off, not because you're in danger, but because you're in unfamiliar territory. And that's where the treasure is, in the unfamiliar. No one ever created a breakthrough by staying in the known, by repeating the same actions, by following the same routines. It's the ones who stepped into the unknown, who embraced the uneasiness, who discovered levels of potential they didn't even know were inside them. You have to shift the way you interpret discomfort. Instead of saying, this feels uncomfortable, so I should stop, you have to say, this feels uncomfortable, so I must be exactly where I need to be. That change in meaning changes everything. Suddenly, discomfort becomes a compass pointing you toward the very areas that need to be stretched, healed, and strengthened. It becomes an ally, not an enemy, Every time you feel it, you can smile and say, I'm on the right path. Consider how a diamond is made. Pressure, heat, stress, none of that is comfortable, yet without it, a diamond doesn't exist. The same goes for you. The pressure, the heat, the stretching. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it's also sculpting you into something extraordinary. You can't become stronger without lifting weight. You can't become braver without facing fear. You can't become wiser without making mistakes, and all of that requires discomfort. The people who achieve the life they dream of are not the ones who found a way to eliminate discomfort. They're the ones who train themselves to lean into it, to use it as fuel. They know that the signal of discomfort means they are alive, engaged, and moving toward their vision. They've reframed it so thoroughly that what most people run from, they run toward. That is why they grow while others remain stuck. So, the next time you feel discomfort rising in your chest, don't shrink back. Recognize it for what it truly is. A signal, not a stop sign. A message that you are no longer standing still. A reminder that you're moving toward the future version of yourself. The one who's stronger, wiser, and more powerful than the person you are today. Don't pray for less struggle. Demand more strength and lean into the challenge. Life will never stop throwing challenges your way. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And too often, people waste their energy hoping for easier circumstances, asking for the storm to calm instead of learning how to navigate through it. But the truth is, an easy life doesn't create powerful people. Struggle is not a punishment. It's the training ground where strength, resilience, and character are built. When you stop wishing for the obstacles to vanish and start demanding the strength to rise above them, everything in your life begins to shift. It's natural to want comfort, to hope the journey smooths out, to pray that the road becomes easier. But think about it. If life gave you everything on a silver platter, if nothing ever tested you, if you never had to face setbacks, what kind of person would you become? You wouldn't develop resilience. You wouldn't discover your own grit. You wouldn't learn the depth of what you're truly capable of. Struggles exist not to break you but to shape you, to prepare you for the weight of the life you say you want. Without the challenge, you don't grow the capacity to carry the dream. The world's strongest people aren't the ones who avoided struggle. They're the ones who faced it, embraced it, and came out the other side forged into steel. Every champion, every leader, every visionary you admire has scars, has stories of moments when they were brought to their knees. They didn't pray for fewer problems. They demanded greater courage, greater strength, greater persistence. They didn't see the challenge as an enemy. They saw it as a necessary part of the process. And because of that, they kept moving when others quit. The moment you decide to stop running from struggle and start leaning into it, your relationship with life changes. Instead of seeing obstacles as barriers, you begin to see them as teachers. Instead of asking, why me? You start asking, what can I learn? What strength can I gain here? That shift in perspective is what transforms pain into power. Every difficulty becomes an opportunity to rise. Every setback becomes a lesson in resilience. Every disappointment becomes fuel for growth. You've got to understand that struggle is evidence you're alive, evidence you're still in the game, evidence you're reaching for something worth having. A life without struggle isn't life, it's stagnation. The very thing you're trying to avoid is the very thing that will give you the break, through you've been waiting for. Leaning into the challenge doesn't mean you'll enjoy it, but it does mean you'll respect it. It means you'll stop resisting the process and start embracing it as a crucial part of your evolution. There will be days when it feels heavy, when you question if you can carry the weight, when you wonder if it's worth it. Those are the moments where demanding more strength matters most. Because strength doesn't magically appear, you call it forth. You find it in yourself when you refuse to back down, when you dig deeper than you ever thought possible, when you show yourself that quitting is not an option. That's how real strength is born, not in comfort, but in the decision to endure, to rise, and to keep pressing forward despite the resistance. The challenges you face are not roadblocks to keep you out. They're stepping stones to build you up. Every time you lean into the discomfort, you expand your capacity. Every time you refuse to fold, you prove to yourself that you are bigger than the problem in front of you. That mindset creates an unstoppable force, a version of you that doesn't shrink when life gets hard but grows taller, stronger, and more determined. The life you want is on the other side of fear. Walk through the fire to reach it. Fear is the gatekeeper that stands between you and everything you've ever dreamed of. It whispers in your ear, telling you you're not ready, you're not enough, you'll fail if you try. It paints pictures of worst-case scenarios, convincing you that staying where you are is safer, smarter, more responsible. But deep down, you know the truth. The life you crave, the fulfillment, the passion, the success, the love, it doesn't exist inside the comfort zone where fear keeps you trapped. It exists beyond it in the place you've been too afraid to step into. Fear is not your enemy, it's your test. It shows up every time you stand on the edge of growth, every time you dare to reach for something bigger than yourself. The problem is that most people mistake fear for a stop sign, when in reality, it's a green light. It's the signal that you're moving in the right direction, that you're approaching a threshold that matters. Because if there's no fear, there's no growth. If it doesn't scare you, it doesn't stretch you. And if it doesn't stretch you, it won't change you. You have to understand that the fire of fear is not there to destroy you. It's there to refine you. Just like gold is purified through intense heat, you are purified through the flames of fear. It strips away your excuses, your self-doubt, your old limitations, and it reveals the strength and courage that have been inside you all along. But you'll never see that version of yourself if you keep running from the fire. You've got to walk through it. You've got to face the trembling hands, the racing heart, the uncertain mind, and move anyway. Think of any person you admire, any leader, any creator, any dreamer who achieved what seemed impossible. Do you think they lived without fear? No, they felt it just like you do. The difference is they walked through it. They didn't wait for the fear to disappear. They acted in spite of it. They understood that fear never goes away. You just get stronger than it. And each time you walk through it, you prove to yourself that the monster in your head is smaller than you imagined. The tragedy is that so many people never discover what's on the other side. They let fear dictate their choices, keep them stuck in jobs they hate, relationships that drain them, lives that feel like cages. They choose the comfort of the known over the possibility of the extraordinary. And in doing so, they bury their dreams alive. Don't let that be your story. Don't let fear be the author of your life. Every dream worth chasing will require you to face fear. The bigger the dream, the bigger the fear. That's the price of admission. And when you feel it, instead of shrinking back, you've got to smile and say, "This is it. This is the path." Fear doesn't show up when you're standing still. It shows up when you're moving forward. So when it rises, it's proof you're alive, proof you're growing, proof you're stepping into the life you've been asking for. The fire will be hot, yes. You will doubt yourself, yes. You will feel like quitting, yes. But if you keep walking, if you keep pushing, if you keep choosing courage over comfort, you'll come out the other side stronger, freer, and more alive than ever before. Because the life you want isn't hiding from you. It's waiting for you just past the flames on the other side of fear.